How to Overcome Anxiety and Negative Emotions. Written and published by United Sports. Anxiety is not just a fleeting feeling of worry. It is a force that grips the mind and clouds judgment. Negative emotions are not mere reactions. They are patterns that shape how people see themselves and the world. In a world where stress and uncertainty have become daily companions, countless people struggle with these silent battles, feeling lost in their own thoughts. But here's the truth: anxiety and negative emotions are not undefeatable enemies. They are signals, messages from within, guiding a person toward change and growth. The key lies in understanding them, not fearing them. And this is where transformation begins. United Sports is here to help you embark on this journey of self-discovery and healing. This is not about quick fixes or empty promises. This is about real, lasting change, the kind that comes from deep within. Every person watching this has the power to overcome anxiety and negativity, but that power remains locked until they decide to take control. This is your moment. This is where you break free from the chains of worry, fear, and doubt. But first, to conquer something, you must first understand it. Anxiety does not appear out of nowhere. It is the result of thoughts, experiences, and perceptions. It is the mind's way of trying to protect a person from danger, whether real or imagined. In ancient times, this response kept humans safe from predators and threats. Today, the threats are different, not wild animals, but deadlines, responsibilities, expectations, and comparisons. The mind does not always know the difference, and so it reacts in the same way, by flooding the body with fear, tension, and unease. Negative emotions follow the same pattern. They stem from past wounds, disappointments, and beliefs that have been shaped over time. Fear, sadness, anger, these emotions often arise when things do not go as expected. But here's the important part: emotions themselves are not the problem. It is how they are handled that makes the difference. When negative emotions are suppressed, they grow stronger. When they are ignored, they return even louder. The key is to acknowledge them, understand their root causes, and learn how to manage them. One of the biggest mistakes people make is believing that anxiety and negative emotions define them. They think, "I am an anxious person," or "I am just a negative thinker." But this is not true. Anxiety is not an identity, it is a state of mind. Negative emotions are not permanent. They are temporary. No one is born anxious. No one is born with constant negativity. These are learned responses, and anything that is learned can be unlearned. The power to reshape the mind and emotions is within everyone, but it starts with shifting this perspective. Understanding anxiety and negative emotions means recognizing their triggers. What thoughts create anxiety? What situations lead to frustration or sadness? What past experiences influence the way someone reacts today? Awareness is the first step toward control. Without awareness, a person is simply reacting, running in circles, feeling trapped. But with awareness, they begin to see patterns, and once patterns are seen, they can be changed. The mind is a powerful tool. It can be a person's greatest ally or their worst enemy. When left unchecked, it creates fear, doubt, and endless what-ifs. But when trained and guided, it becomes a source of strength, clarity, and confidence. Every great achiever, every strong-willed person, has learned to master their thoughts and emotions instead of being controlled by them. They understand that emotions are like waves, temporary, passing, and never permanent. Many people seek distractions to escape anxiety and negativity, scrolling endlessly on social media, binge-watching shows, or staying busy just to avoid their thoughts. But avoidance only makes the problem bigger. The moment of true change begins when a person faces their emotions head-on. This is not about eliminating emotions but learning to navigate through them. It is about developing emotional intelligence, the ability to understand, manage, and channel emotions in a way that leads to growth. One of the most powerful things to remember is that anxiety and negative emotions thrive on uncertainty and fear. But when a person starts taking small, intentional steps toward understanding their mind, fear loses its power. The unknown becomes familiar. What once felt overwhelming becomes manageable. The shift happens not by avoiding emotions, but by learning how to process them effectively. As this journey continues, the next step will be about awareness and acceptance, two of the most critical aspects of overcoming anxiety and negativity. Without awareness, there is no clarity. Without acceptance, there is no growth. In the upcoming part, we will dive deep into how acknowledging emotions, instead of resisting them, leads to true emotional freedom. If you found value in this message, take a moment to like, share, and subscribe to United Sports. This is just the beginning of your journey toward emotional strength and inner peace. Stay with us as we guide you through the next step toward overcoming anxiety and negative emotions. The power of awareness and acceptance. Most people spend their lives running from their emotions, pretending they don't exist, or wishing them away. But the truth is, ignoring emotions does not make them disappear. Suppressing anxiety only gives it more power. Resisting negative emotions only makes them stronger. The real breakthrough happens when a person stops fighting their feelings and starts understanding them. Awareness and acceptance are not weaknesses. They are the foundation of emotional strength. Without them, change is impossible. With them, transformation begins. United Sports believes that awareness is the first step toward regaining control over anxiety and negativity. Imagine standing in a dark room, feeling afraid because you don't know what's around you. But the moment you turn on the light, everything becomes clear. Nothing has changed in the room itself, but now you can see. This is what awareness does. It shines a light on emotions, allowing a person to understand where they come from and why they exist. Anxiety and negativity are not just random feelings. They have roots, and those roots must be identified before they can be removed. Acceptance does not mean giving up. It does not mean surrendering to anxiety or letting negative emotions dictate life. Instead, it means acknowledging reality without resistance. Too many people waste energy wishing things were different, replaying the past, or fearing the future. But when a person accepts what they feel in the present moment, they gain power over it. Instead of saying, "I shouldn't feel anxious," they say, "I feel anxious, and that's okay." Instead of saying, "I hate feeling this way," they say, "This feeling is temporary, and I can handle it." This shift in mindset changes everything. Many people confuse acceptance with approval. They think, if I accept my anxiety, it will never go away. But this is not true. Acceptance is not approval, it is acknowledgement. It is the act of saying, "This is how I feel right now, but this is not who I am forever." When a person accepts their emotions, they stop feeding them with fear. They stop adding resistance to the fire. And when resistance disappears, healing begins. Awareness and acceptance work together. Awareness brings clarity. It helps a person recognize the patterns of their thoughts and emotions. Acceptance brings peace. It stops the constant inner battle of wishing things were different. Together, they form the foundation for emotional control. Without awareness, a person remains blind to their struggles. Without acceptance, they remain trapped in self-judgment. But with both, they take the first real step toward overcoming anxiety and negativity. One of the biggest reasons people struggle with anxiety is that they judge themselves for feeling it. They believe they should always be confident, always be in control, always be strong. But strength is not about never feeling anxious. Strength is about knowing how to deal with anxiety when it comes. The strongest people are not the ones who never struggle. They are the ones who embrace their struggles and find a way to rise above them. A simple but powerful exercise is to observe emotions without reacting to them. Instead of saying, "I am anxious," try saying, "I notice that I am feeling anxious." This small change in wording creates a big shift in perception. It separates the person from the emotion. They are not their anxiety. They are simply experiencing it. And what is experienced can be managed. What is managed can be overcome. Negative emotions thrive in the absence of awareness. Many people feel anxious or sad without knowing why. But once they start paying attention, once they observe their triggers, their thoughts, and their reactions, they gain the ability to change them. Awareness brings choice. Without awareness, emotions control a person. With awareness, a person controls their emotions. Another important part of acceptance is self-compassion. Too often, people are kind to others but harsh on themselves. They forgive others for their mistakes but judge themselves for every little flaw. But here's the truth: nobody is perfect. Nobody has everything figured out. And that is okay. Instead of criticizing yourself for feeling anxious, try speaking to yourself the way you would speak to a friend. It's okay. This is just a moment. You are doing your best. This simple shift in self-talk makes a huge difference in emotional well-being. The more a person resists emotions, the stronger they become. But the more they accept them, the weaker their hold becomes. Think of emotions like waves in the ocean. You cannot stop the waves from coming, but you can learn to ride them. You can learn to flow with them instead of drowning in them. Anxiety and negativity will come and go, but they do not have to control you. The moment you stop fearing them is the moment they lose their power. As we move forward, the next step in this journey is mastering the mind. Awareness and acceptance lay the groundwork, but true transformation happens when a person learns how to shift their thoughts. The mind is the key. It can either create anxiety or eliminate it. In the next part, we will dive deep into mastering your thoughts and mindset, the art of taking control of your internal world so that external situations no longer dictate your emotions. Mastering your thoughts and mindset. The mind is the most powerful tool a person possesses, but it can also be their greatest obstacle. Thoughts shape emotions, and emotions dictate actions. A single negative thought, if left unchecked, can spiral into overwhelming anxiety. A single doubt can grow into fear that holds a person back from their true potential. But here is the truth: no one is born with a negative mindset. No one is destined to be trapped by anxious thoughts forever. The mind is like a muscle. It can be trained, strengthened, and rewired. Mastering thoughts is not about eliminating negativity completely. It is about learning to control which thoughts are given power and which are let go. Every emotion, every feeling of anxiety, every wave of negativity begins with a thought. The problem is that most people do not even realize what they are thinking. They allow their minds to run on autopilot, absorbing fears, doubts, and insecurities from the world around them. But just as a person chooses what they eat, they can also choose which thoughts they consume. Negative thoughts, like junk food, poison the mind over time, creating stress and self-doubt. Positive, empowering thoughts nourish the mind, building resilience and inner strength. The choice is always in the hands of the individual. To master thoughts, one must first become aware of them. What are the dominant thoughts running through the mind daily? Are they uplifting or destructive? Are they building confidence or breaking it down? Awareness is the first step to change. When a person starts observing their thoughts without immediate reaction, they begin to see patterns. They recognize how certain thoughts trigger anxiety, how certain words create self-doubt. This realization is powerful because once patterns are seen, they can be broken. But awareness alone is not enough. The next step is taking control. A person must consciously decide which thoughts to entertain and which to discard. Just because a thought enters the mind does not mean it is true. Just because a fear arises does not mean it will become reality. The mind often lies, creating problems that do not exist. When anxiety whispers, "You are not good enough," it is only an illusion. When negativity says, "You will fail," it is just a trick of the mind. The truth is, thoughts are not facts. They are only possibilities. The person who understands this gains the power to reshape their reality. One of the most effective ways to rewire the mind is through intentional repetition. The brain learns through patterns, through what is repeated most often. If a person constantly feeds their mind with negativity, it becomes their default state. But if they consistently reinforce positive, empowering beliefs, their mind adapts. This is not about blind positivity, it is about creating a strong foundation of self-belief. Thoughts like, "I am capable," "I am in control," and "I can handle anything" may feel unnatural at first, but with repetition, they become second nature. Mastering the mind also means learning to detach from thoughts. Not every thought deserves attention. Thoughts are like clouds in the sky, they come and go. A person does not need to chase every negative thought or react to every fear. Instead, they can observe thoughts without attachment, like watching leaves float down a river. This mental discipline is what separates those who are controlled by their minds from those who control their minds. It is what allows a person to stay calm, focused, and strong even in difficult situations. Another critical step in mastering the mind is eliminating negative self-talk. Many people speak to themselves in a way they would never speak to a friend. They criticize, they doubt, they tear themselves down. This internal dialogue matters more than anything else. Words shape beliefs, and beliefs shape reality. The strongest individuals are not those who never struggle, but those who refuse to let their struggles define them. They replace self-doubt with self-empowerment, negativity with resilience. They train their minds to be their greatest ally, not their worst enemy. The environment also plays a crucial role in shaping thoughts. What a person consumes daily, the conversations they have, the content they watch, the people they surround themselves with, directly influences their mindset. If they are constantly exposed to negativity, fear, and drama, their mind absorbs it. But if they fill their environment with positivity, growth, and inspiration, their thoughts follow. This is why it is so important to be intentional about the influences allowed into the mind. Protecting the mind is just as vital as protecting the body. The truth about anxiety and negativity is that they cannot survive in a mind that is focused and disciplined. When a person takes charge of their thoughts, they take charge of their emotions. When they stop allowing fear to dictate their actions, they gain freedom. This shift does not happen overnight, but every small step matters. Every time a person chooses a positive thought over a negative one, they strengthen their mental resilience. Every time they refuse to give in to fear, they weaken its grip. Mastering thoughts does not mean never experiencing anxiety or negative emotions. It means learning how to navigate through them with confidence. It means recognizing that emotions are temporary, but mindset is a choice. The strongest minds are not those that never feel fear. They are the ones that feel fear and move forward anyway. They do not allow their thoughts to control them. They take control of their thoughts. In the next part, we will dive into practical strategies to reduce anxiety. Now that the foundation of mindset control has been established, it is time to explore real techniques that can be used daily to manage stress and negativity. These are not just theories, they are proven methods that have transformed lives. Stay with us on this journey. And if this message resonated with you, take a moment to like, share, and subscribe to United Sports. Your mind is your greatest weapon. Learn to use it wisely. Practical strategies to reduce anxiety. Anxiety may feel like an unstoppable force, but in reality, it is something that can be managed, controlled, and even transformed into a source of strength. The problem is that most people fight anxiety the wrong way. They try to suppress it, ignore it, or run from it. But the more one fights against anxiety, the stronger it becomes. The key is not to resist, but to redirect. Anxiety is energy, misdirected energy. And when a person learns how to channel that energy into productive actions, the fear and worry begin to lose their grip. One of the most effective ways to reduce anxiety is through controlled breathing. Anxiety often speeds up the heart rate, making the body feel like it is in danger. But by taking slow, deep breaths, a person can send a signal to their brain that they are safe. The 4-7-8 breathing technique is a simple yet powerful method. Inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 7, and exhale for 8. This activates the body's relaxation response, bringing instant calm. The breath is always available, always within reach, making it one of the most powerful tools against anxiety. Another crucial strategy is grounding techniques. When anxiety takes over, it pulls a person into a cycle of overthinking and worry about the future. Grounding brings them back to the present moment. The 5-4-3-2-1 method is a simple way to regain control. Identify 5 things you see, 4 things you touch, 3 things you hear, 2 things you smell, and 1 thing you taste. This shifts focus from anxious thoughts to reality, breaking the cycle of worry. Physical movement is another game changer. Anxiety lives in the body just as much as it does in the mind. When stress builds up, the body becomes tense and energy gets trapped. Exercise, stretching, or even a simple walk releases this energy and signals to the brain that it's time to relax. Studies show that just 20 minutes of movement can reduce anxiety levels significantly. It doesn't have to be intense. What matters is consistency. The body and mind are connected, and when one is in motion, the other follows. What a person consumes also affects their anxiety levels. Caffeine, sugar, and processed foods can spike energy levels and create feelings of unease. On the other hand, whole foods, hydration, and balanced nutrition support a calm and focused mind. Drinking plenty of water and reducing stimulants can make a noticeable difference in anxiety levels. The gut and brain are directly linked. When the body is nourished properly, the mind functions better. The power of journaling is often underestimated. Anxiety thrives in an overactive mind, creating loops of endless thoughts. But when those thoughts are written down, they lose their intensity. Writing out fears, worries, and emotions creates clarity and helps process them in a healthy way. A simple habit of spending 5 minutes every morning or night to write down thoughts can bring a sense of control and emotional relief. Another highly effective method is exposure therapy. Anxiety often grows when a person avoids their fears. The longer something is avoided, the scarier it becomes. But by facing fears in small, controlled steps, the brain starts to realize that the fear is not as threatening as it seems. For example, if social anxiety is an issue, starting with small conversations instead of avoiding people entirely can help rewire the brain's response to social situations. Progress happens one step at a time. Mindfulness and meditation are among the most powerful tools for long-term anxiety control. These practices train the brain to observe thoughts without getting lost in them. Meditation does not mean stopping thoughts, it means learning not to react to them. Even 5 minutes of mindfulness a day can create long-lasting changes in brain function, reducing the power of anxiety over time. The ability to sit with emotions, without judgment, strengthens mental resilience. Sleep and rest play a major role in managing anxiety. Lack of sleep heightens stress levels and makes the mind more reactive to negative thoughts. Creating a nighttime routine, such as reducing screen time, reading a book, or practicing deep breathing, can improve sleep quality. The mind cannot function at its best when the body is exhausted. Prioritizing rest is essential for emotional balance. Surrounding oneself with supportive and positive people is another vital strategy. Anxiety often isolates individuals, making them believe they are alone in their struggles. But connection is a powerful healer. Talking to a trusted friend, joining a support group, or seeking professional guidance can provide perspective and encouragement. A strong support system can make a world of difference in overcoming anxiety. The final and most important strategy is taking action despite fear. Anxiety often tries to convince people to wait until they feel ready, until the fear disappears. But the truth is, action comes first and confidence follows. The more a person takes small steps toward their goals, even when afraid, the weaker anxiety's grip becomes. Growth happens outside of comfort zones, and every action taken is a step toward freedom. In the next part, we will explore how to build emotional resilience, turning challenges into opportunities for growth. True strength comes not from avoiding difficulties but from learning how to navigate through them. Building emotional resilience. Life is unpredictable, and challenges will always come. Some days are filled with confidence and joy, while others bring doubt, fear, and frustration. But what separates those who break under pressure from those who rise above it? The answer is emotional resilience. It is the ability to remain strong even when everything feels like it's falling apart. It is not about avoiding negative emotions but learning how to handle them with wisdom and strength. Emotional resilience is not something people are born with. It is something they build, one step at a time. Anxiety and negative emotions do not destroy a person. It is the response to them that determines the outcome. Some people allow fear to control them, making them hesitant and doubtful. Others use their struggles as fuel to become stronger. Emotional resilience means recognizing that pain is temporary, but the lessons it brings can last a lifetime. The strongest people are not those who have never struggled, but those who have learned how to turn their struggles into stepping stones toward growth. One of the biggest mistakes people make is believing that emotions should dictate their actions. They think, I feel anxious, so I must stop, or I feel overwhelmed, so I must escape. But emotional resilience means understanding that emotions are just signals. They are not instructions. Just because fear is present does not mean a person should stop moving forward. Just because doubt creeps in does not mean success is out of reach. The secret is learning how to acknowledge emotions without letting them take control. Building emotional resilience starts with self-awareness. People who are emotionally strong do not ignore their feelings. Instead, they take time to understand what they are feeling and why. Is the anxiety coming from a real problem, or just from overthinking? Is the sadness a result of the present moment, or is it connected to past wounds? When a person understands their emotions, they gain the power to respond instead of just react. They no longer feel lost in their own mind, but instead take control of their inner world. Another key to emotional resilience is developing a strong mindset. The mind is like a muscle. It grows stronger with training. If a person constantly tells themselves they are weak, they will believe it. But if they train their mind to see challenges as opportunities, their entire perspective shifts. Instead of saying, I can't handle this, a resilient person says, this is tough, but I will get through it. The words a person speaks to themselves shape their reality. Emotional resilience begins with a decision to stop feeding negative thoughts and start feeding strength. Resilient people also understand the power of taking action despite fear. Anxiety and negative emotions thrive in stillness. When a person does nothing, fear grows. But when they take action, no matter how small, their confidence begins to build. They start to see that they are stronger than they thought. Every time they push through discomfort, they prove to themselves that they are capable. This is how resilience is built, not in comfort, but in action. Surroundings also play a huge role in emotional resilience. People who are constantly around negativity, gossip, and doubt will absorb that energy. But those who surround themselves with positive, driven, and supportive individuals will naturally grow stronger. Emotional resilience is not just about personal mindset. It is also about choosing the right environment. The right people will uplift and inspire, while the wrong people will drain and discourage. Choosing wisely is one of the most powerful steps toward emotional strength. Self-care is another essential part of emotional resilience. Many people ignore their physical and mental well-being, thinking they should just push through without rest. But resilience does not mean burning out. It means knowing when to recharge. Simple habits like exercise, deep breathing, journaling, and meditation can do wonders for emotional health. The body and mind are deeply connected, and when one is taken care of, the other benefits. A strong mind needs a strong foundation, and self-care provides that foundation. Another truth about resilience is that it is built over time, not overnight. No one becomes emotionally strong in a single moment. It takes repetition. Just like a tree does not grow strong in one day, emotional resilience is developed through consistent effort. Every challenge faced, every fear overcome, and every hardship endured adds another layer of strength. Over time, what once seemed impossible becomes just another challenge to overcome. Perhaps the most important part of emotional resilience is self-belief. The world will always have obstacles, setbacks, and difficulties, but a person who believes in their ability to overcome will always find a way. No external situation has the power to completely control a person's life unless they allow it. The strongest individuals are not those who have never fallen, but those who refuse to stay down. Resilience is the mindset that no matter what happens, a person will rise again, stronger, wiser, and more determined than before. As this journey continues, the next step will focus on creating a positive and supportive environment, because resilience is not just about inner strength, but also about external influences. The right environment fuels growth, while the wrong one keeps people stuck in negativity. In the next part, we will uncover how the surroundings a person chooses can either build them up or break them down. Stay with us as we take another step toward emotional mastery, creating a positive and supportive environment. The environment a person surrounds themselves with plays a crucial role in shaping their thoughts, emotions, and overall mental well-being. Anxiety and negativity do not exist in isolation. They are often fueled by external influences, whether it be toxic relationships, stressful workspaces, or the constant noise of negativity from social media and the news. Without realizing it, people absorb the energy around them, and if that energy is filled with stress, doubt, and criticism, it becomes nearly impossible to maintain a strong and peaceful mind. The key to overcoming anxiety and negative emotions is to intentionally create an environment that nurtures positivity, growth, and inner stability. A positive environment is not just about the physical space, it is about the people, the conversations, and the content a person consumes daily. Imagine trying to heal while constantly being surrounded by chaos and conflict. It becomes a battle that drains energy and makes progress difficult. To truly break free from the cycle of anxiety and negativity, a person must assess their surroundings and make conscious choices about what they allow into their mental and emotional space. This is not about running away from reality, but about creating a foundation where mental peace becomes a priority. One of the biggest contributors to anxiety is negative social influence. Some people constantly criticize, complain, and bring others down. They project their fears, insecurities, and limitations onto those around them. Spending too much time with such individuals can drain energy and reinforce self-doubt. It is essential to evaluate relationships and ask, do these people lift me up, or do they pull me down? A supportive environment includes individuals who encourage growth, offer constructive advice, and genuinely want to see others succeed. Choosing to spend time with positive, uplifting people is not selfish, it is necessary for mental well-being. Apart from people, the content consumed daily plays a massive role in shaping thoughts and emotions. Social media, news, entertainment, these sources have the power to either fuel anxiety or promote peace. Constant exposure to negativity, drama, or unrealistic expectations can distort reality and increase stress. On the other hand, surrounding oneself with motivational content, uplifting stories, and educational material can shift perspectives and promote emotional stability. The goal is to feed the mind with positivity, just as one would nourish the body with healthy food. A cluttered and chaotic physical environment can also contribute to mental unrest. A disorganized room, a messy workspace, or a noisy setting can subconsciously increase stress levels. Creating a clean, peaceful, and organized space can have a profound impact on reducing anxiety. Simple changes like decluttering a desk, adding calming elements like plants or soft lighting, and removing unnecessary distractions can transform a space into a sanctuary that promotes focus and relaxation. The external environment should reflect the peace one wants to cultivate internally. Nature is one of the most powerful yet underrated ways to create a positive environment. Spending time outdoors, feeling the sunlight, walking in fresh air, where being near water has been scientifically proven to reduce stress and improve mental health. Nature has a calming effect that helps reset the mind and body, offering a break from the artificial stressors of modern life. Making it a habit to connect with nature, even for a few minutes daily, can be a game changer in overcoming anxiety and negativity. Creating a positive environment also means setting healthy boundaries. Many people struggle with saying no, fearing they will disappoint others. But constantly agreeing to things that drain energy or add unnecessary stress only leads to resentment and emotional exhaustion. Setting boundaries is an act of self-respect. It allows individuals to protect their mental space, prioritize their well-being, and create an environment that aligns with their goals and peace of mind. Music and sound play a vital role in shaping emotions and mental states. Certain sounds, like soothing music, nature sounds, or calming frequencies, can instantly shift mood and reduce anxiety. On the other hand, constant exposure to loud, chaotic, or aggressive sounds can increase stress levels without one even realizing it. Being mindful of the auditory environment and choosing sounds that promote peace and relaxation can significantly improve emotional well-being. Building a positive and supportive environment also requires intentional daily habits. Gratitude, mindfulness, and positive affirmations help reinforce a mindset of strength and optimism. Creating a morning and evening routine that includes moments of reflection, deep breathing, or journaling can set the tone for a balanced and centered day. Small habits, practiced consistently, can lead to a massive transformation over time. The environment is not just what surrounds a person, it is also the habits they cultivate within. A person's environment is not always entirely within their control. Workplaces, family dynamics, and unexpected life situations can introduce stress and negativity. However, even in such circumstances, it is possible to create an inner environment of peace. How one reacts to external events, the meaning they assign to situations, and the thoughts they choose to focus on determine their emotional state. The real power lies in internal resilience, the ability to remain mentally strong regardless of what happens outside. Creating a positive and supportive environment is not an overnight process, but it is one of the most powerful ways to overcome anxiety and negativity. It requires conscious effort, self-awareness, and the willingness to make changes that align with mental peace and personal growth. Every small improvement in the environment leads to a big shift in emotions and mindset. In the next and final part, we will focus on the path to inner peace and long-term growth, because true transformation is not just about overcoming anxiety, but about building a life where peace, confidence, and happiness become a natural way of being. The path to inner peace and long-term growth. True peace is not found in the absence of challenges, but in the ability to remain calm despite them. Long-term growth is not about never facing struggles, but about learning to rise stronger after every fall. Anxiety and negative emotions do not disappear overnight. They are like waves, they come and go. But inner peace is like the ocean beneath the waves, steady, deep, and unshaken. The path to lasting peace and growth is not about controlling every thought or emotion, but about mastering the response to them. It is about becoming the kind of person who remains steady even when life is uncertain. The mistake many people make is believing that peace comes from external circumstances. They think, I will be at peace when I have more money, when I achieve success, when I find the right people in my life. But external things do not create inner peace. True peace comes from within. It is a state of mind, a level of awareness, and a deep understanding that nothing outside has the power to control what happens inside. Those who rely on external factors for peace will always be at the mercy of things beyond their control. To walk this path, one must first let go of resistance. Fighting emotions, suppressing anxiety, and pretending negativity does not exist only strengthens them. But when emotions are acknowledged, understood, and accepted, they lose their power. Peace is not found in avoiding problems, but in facing them with strength. It is in knowing that no matter what happens, one has the ability to handle it. Growth comes from discomfort, and those who embrace challenges with the right mindset turn obstacles into stepping stones. A powerful way to cultivate inner peace is by changing perspective. Instead of seeing negative emotions as enemies, see them as guides. Instead of seeing anxiety as a weakness, see it as a message, a signal that something needs attention. Growth happens when one learns from emotions instead of fearing them. A person who understands their emotions gains control over their life. They no longer react out of impulse, they respond with awareness. They no longer live in fear of what might happen. They trust in their ability to handle whatever comes. Another essential step is creating habits that support emotional well-being. Inner peace is not a one-time achievement. It is a daily practice. Meditation, deep breathing, journaling, gratitude, and mindfulness. These are not just words. They are tools that, when used consistently, reshape the mind. They build resilience, strengthen emotional stability, and create a sense of calm even in difficult moments. A strong mind is not built in a day, but with every positive habit, it becomes more unshakable. The environment also plays a crucial role. A chaotic, negative environment fuels anxiety. Being surrounded by toxic influences, consuming negative content, and engaging in harmful habits all disrupt inner peace. True growth requires consciously choosing the right surroundings, people who uplift, content that inspires, and habits that nourish the mind. Every choice either strengthens or weakens inner peace, and those who prioritize mental well-being build a foundation that cannot be easily shaken. The past does not define the future, but carrying its weight does. Many struggle with anxiety because they hold onto past pain, regrets, and failures. But inner peace is only possible when one learns to let go. Forgiveness, both for oneself and others, is one of the most powerful tools for emotional freedom. It does not mean forgetting, but it means releasing the burden. Growth happens when a person chooses to move forward instead of being trapped in what cannot be changed. Long-term transformation happens through self-discipline. A person who waits for motivation will always be waiting. But a person who builds discipline will grow consistently. Whether it is practicing mindfulness, exercising, reading, or working on personal growth, consistency is what creates real change. Small, daily improvements lead to massive transformation over time. Growth is not about doing everything at once. It is about making small, intentional choices every single day. Inner peace is also strengthened by purpose. People who have a sense of purpose find it easier to overcome anxiety and negativity. When there is a strong why, challenges feel smaller. Those who focus on their goals, passions, and contributions to the world create a mindset that is unshaken by temporary emotions. Purpose gives direction, and direction brings clarity. When the mind is focused on something greater, small worries lose their hold. Another key to long-term growth is patience. Too many people give up because they do not see instant results. They expect anxiety to disappear overnight, negativity to fade immediately, and peace to arrive instantly. But just like physical strength takes time to build, mental and emotional strength also require patience. Every step taken toward inner peace matters. Every effort to manage emotions, every moment of self-awareness, every habit built, it all adds up. The journey is not about perfection but progress. One of the greatest realizations is that peace and growth are not destinations, they are ongoing journeys. There will still be moments of doubt, fear, and uncertainty, but a strong mind does not fear these moments. Instead, it navigates through them with confidence. The goal is not to avoid challenges but to become so mentally strong that challenges no longer control emotions. Growth is about becoming the kind of person who faces life with courage, calmness, and clarity. Now, the power is in your hands. Anxiety and negativity do not have to control your life. The choice to grow, to find peace, and to transform lies within you. Keep taking small steps, keep building resilience, and keep moving forward. If this message has inspired you, take a moment to like, share, and subscribe to United Sports. This is not the end of your journey, it is just the beginning. Stay strong, stay committed, and embrace the path to inner peace and long-term growth.